Hi Virgo, welcome to your annual 2024-25 Astrology Horoscope forecast. Welcome to my channel. It's an interesting transitional year as we move from the earth and the water energies and we're moving into the fire and air frequencies. I'm going to be focusing on slow moving planets. I'm mainly going to be looking at Pluto and then I'm going to be looking at Jupiter. I've spoken at great length on Pluto, what it is all about, what does it stand for. I'm going to be linking up a video. It would be worth your while to have to watch it and just to understand exactly as to not just how Pluto is going to be affecting us, but why is it so important that we don't ignore it. So Pluto began its first shift into Aquarius last year, and it is now by mid-Jan is the time when it will completely sort of rule um, into Aquarius. It has been there in Capricorn for the last 20 years. So a lot of us may have experienced issues around authority, around structure, around power struggles, around wanting to acquire more to gain that security. But now the entire shift is more towards the mind, it's towards the collective. Aquarius is about we, it's about the collective consciousness, it's about us. It is how that the resources can get divided equally amongst everybody. So we may globally experience and witness a lot of changes as far as policies are concerned, as far as equality is concerned. And there's also going to be a sense of not just the technology increasing or the knowledge, but a sense of wanting to share that knowledge with everybody so that everyone can benefit at large. We have Pluto on the 21st of Jan that is going to be moving into your house of career. This is the house of your day-to-day chores. This is also the house of health, and it is all about being productive. It is where it is that you're spending your time. And also Pluto is not a very gentle planet. Even though it's known as a dwarf planet, it tends to dig really deep underneath, and it tends to bring about a whole lot of stuff for inspection, our psychological patterns, the way that we are operating, and it's a long transit as well. So Pluto transit for you in your house of day-to-day chores is going to be encouraging you to not get obsessive about your work. How is it that you're spending time? Is it that you are straining or working yourself too hard? And Pluto, in any case, tends to create pressure whenever it transits any part of our chart. And Pluto, in any case, is going to make you more obsessive about your work. You know, it could be like a do or die. It could be, wanting to mortgage or sell your house so that you can support your cause. It can make you really intense and obsessive. So you will be opportunities will be brought about so that you are encouraged to look at your own health matters, particularly uncovering the root or the core issues, and your work and your habits are going to be very closely intertwined with this. So if you have forever had issues with whether your back or your legs or your feet, or it could be anything, this is a time where you will be asked to look at whether you're driving yourself too hard physically, whether you're not taking the required rest, and also that you do not need to be pushing yourself that hard physically as well. It's a time where there will be opportunities given to you so that you can evolve in better ways. It's also a fabulous time to be getting rid of any bad habits or routines, but also be careful that you don't replace one bad habit with another. So if you've had the mentality all along, if you've seen your parents work really hard physically, you feel it's quite okay to sort of, and especially I see that in women, that you're standing for long durations of hours without taking a break or a rest, because we've seen our mother standing in the kitchen for hours or doing all the physical work, and you feel it's all right, she did it and I can do it. Or maybe around you, you see enough, or it is depending culturally as to where it is, which part of the globe you're in. Whether it's a more of a patriarchal society where it's expected, that you should be in any case be working as hard as till the time that you don't sort of thin your bones, so to speak. So try and moderate that. Try and ensure that you're taking enough rest. You can expect some transformation during this transit. You will be craving yourself. Virgo's a lot of intensity and passion as well. And again, this revolves around your work and your health and your day-to-day chores as well. And also, I think you will feel very defensive about your work. You will fear a lot of criticism. There would be a very thin line between your own personal identity and that of your work. You will be giving more than is that is being asked or even required. No, required of you. So no one is really going to be asking you to work yourself to the bone, but it will just be a need or a fear of criticism, of not really shining enough or shining brighter, than expected, and no one is asking you. These will just be self-imposed restrictions that would make you sort of work to the point of paranoia, or work due to criticism, or um, you know working more than it is required. So directing your own work or working for yourself may be the best route to take, so that you can define your timings, because you may resent others controlling your schedule and the work that you need to do. You also, a lot of you are also going to become very interested in areas of health and self-improvement, and also explorations of the mind and the body connection. And instinctively, a lot of you are going to be seeking alternative therapies for healing. To summarize, the best way to be coping with a Pluto transit in this house is going to be that you absolutely need to be doing something that you love. And while, for those of you who are already doing it, you need to be watching out that thin line of being very intense and very obsessive and expecting the sort of, people around you or people who are close to you to rally and be supportive and be as obsessive as you are, which could be quite unfair. But for those of you who are in workplaces or even in career paths that you are not really happy about, or it's a it's a chore to get yourself out of the bed every day, then you must try and try and change the course of your work. Also avoid getting into a very toxic work environment, because this is something that could really impact you mentally as well. And for those of you who work for yourself or do something on your own and you're not satisfied, try and start planning on making a change, so that over the period of coming years you can sort of change tracks. And for those of you who are already on the place where you are sort of changing tracks, just work more harder, just stick to it. Pluto loves a good transformation, so you need to, rather than working against it and saying I'm not going to change, I'm going to really make this work irrespective of what, you need to transform. You need to take a recourse or change directions during this time. This transit can also help you get really organized, and also ensure that you have an outlet for your anger and frustration, because your this sector, this house also rules your health. So try and ensure that you are whether you're meditating or you are doing enough creative things that you enjoy, singing, painting, whatever it is that gives you that therapy, that you're spending more time over there so that your anger and frustration is taken care of. Try and be more proactive for the next 20 years, because it's a long transit, and where your health is concerned. So don't ignore the small niggling things, don't let it turn into one big sort of issue that gets worrying later on. And also important to be addressing resentment. Virgos, they pent up resentment may bring up some physical issues for you as the transit progresses. So try and see whether what is it that, whether there are issues with your in your closest relationships, in your family. Try and sort those out, rather than, it's like holding a hot coal, and we all know what that does. um, this transit can be more potent for you if in your birth chart, besides having a sun, moon, and rising in Virgo, if you have a Uranus or a Saturn, which is along with Pluto in this specific house. So it would be worth your while to download a free birth chart and see exactly as to what more can be expected. We have the first set of eclipses on March 25th, that is there in your house of self-worth, and this is the house of earned income. And then we have a solar eclipse that is there on 8th April, and that is there in your house of joint finances. So both the first set of eclipses are talking about your changes in career, your power control regarding finances, your spouse's income, and also the changes or the fluctuations in your your spouse's or your partner's income, and also power struggles around them. Try and see, because eclipses lasted for about 6 months, with both the house of your self-worth, your house of earned income, and then opposing the solar eclipse that is there in your spouse's house, and that's also the house of power control, that you're not being manipulated financially. Try and sort of keep finances as separate as possible that you can. May the 25th, we have Jupiter. That's the next big thing, which is moving into your house of career, reputation, how it is that you want the world to see you. And it is resonating with Pluto, that is there in your house of work and your health and your day-to-day chores. So it's a great time to gain status, particularly on the professional front. It's a good indicator for marriage also for some people. And Jupiter in this house is fabulous. Jupiter in any case is a benefactor. He's the giver. He's tends to expand everything that it touches. So it speaks about public recognition. It speaks about professional success, and also it could be a time of great profitable productivity, career advancement, and success in business. Also, work-related travel could increase for a lot of you. So you will be able to reach out to a larger section of people, a wider audience, and your worldly status will change for the better during this time. You can expect a promotion or job opportunity, a diploma, career advancement, or even in some cases a marriage as well. A lot of you are going to be coming into the limelight now in a positive way, with Jupiter being over there, and authority figures and influential people are going to be looking at you quite favorably and seem to be in your corner. An event could happen during this Jupiter transit that could expand your career, and it could or even your professional interests, and you could derive a lot of pleasure in these activities. More freedom is likely to be experienced as far as your work is concerned, and integrity and honesty is going to get you everywhere, Virgos. The more willing you are to put yourself in the limelight, the more positive the rewards are going to be. So it's really not a time to be the shrinking violet and saying, oh, let my work speak for myself. It's really a time for you to be coming out, speaking about yourself, talking about your work, letting people know as to what is it that you're striving to do, and the positive influence of people that will be reciprocated to you. So it's a good time to be sort of be your own cheerleader. It's also a time where, for those of you, if you have been working in your career towards a specific goal, then it's a time that you will get the recognition and the success. We have Mercury retrogrades in April, August, and November 2024, and they are there in the 5 houses. So it's going to be there in your house of behind the scenes, it's going to be there in your house of home, and it's going to be there in your house of joint finances, which you share with your husband. So Mercury retrogrades are really a time to be pausing. So you are going to be asked to pause as far as your home situation is concerned. You're being asked to reflect. You're being asked to maybe relook at a certain home situation. You're going to be asked to relook at your joint finances. You're also being asked to course correct, Virgos, and I can't emphasize this enough for you, that you really, if things are just in order to keep the peace, do not sort of let things be the way that they are. You are being given a fabulous opportunity to change the course of direction if you do not like some things the way that the home situation is there, the joint financial situation is there. You need to be cutting that loose now. Mid-year, we have on September 18th, there's a lunar eclipse that is there in your house of marriage, and in October we have a solar eclipse in your house of self-worth. So I think the second set of eclipses is perfectly tying in very well with the Mercury retrogrades in the first set of eclipses. It's something seems to be coming to an end as far as a business relationship is concerned. Maybe you're finishing off a project with a business partner. In certain cases, again, depending as to how the rest of the planets are placed, a marriage could be coming to an end as well. And there is, if that is the case in those rare cases, then I think it's just going to enhance your sense of self-worth. You're not sort of going to, punishing yourself by overworking. I think at times when our self-esteem and our self-worth is low, in order to compensate for that, we overwork. We literally drive ourselves till the time that we are sick, and then we wonder, where are these migraines and back issues and leg issues and all those pains, where are they stemming from? So make use of these eclipses, and especially again the eclipse effect lasts for about 6 months. So try and ensure that you have the courage enough to walk away from something that has just not been working for you. End of the year, December 6th, we have Mars that is going retrograde in your house of behind the scenes. This is the house of spirituality, and the retrograde lasts till about February 2025. That's a long retrograde. So end of the year, you're being asked to reflect upon your own spiritual journey. You're being asked to look at your own deep psychological patterns. You're being asked to maybe at times we do things in secret that we don't want others to know, and it could just be that it could be as simple as that maybe you are spending enough for your cause, because this entire along with the Pluto and Jupiter, everything speaks around being very intense and obsessed about something which is very close to heart. And so secretly it could be you could be spending more for your cause than you should be. Maybe deep down that it's time for you to be shutting doors and moving and starting and doing something of your own, but you're just sort of not letting that go because of the obsessiveness. So Mars retrograde over here in this house of spirituality, behind the scenes, recharging your emotional batteries, is going to encourage you to reflect on your direction of life, and whether you're able to detach from your own cause, which you seem to be sort of just wearing it around you in a cloak, and then expecting others to be that obsessive or that involved as you are. And then of course coming to a middle ground and seeing whether how much of your health is being impacted, whether it is making it's financially viable for you, or whether you're just with the cause or involved in the cause, because someone else, maybe a partner, is more involved to start off with, and now it seems to be only, may have started off as a joint project, but now it seems to be only your baby to be carried and taken care of. So things will come up on the surface, and this is a transitional year. So I do hope that, and I do pray that you have the courage to look at things and situations and people for who and what they are, and have the courage to cut, those, whether they are dead in investments in people, or in causes which are no longer benefiting, besides maybe an intense or an obsessive notion, because I'm so married on to my opinion of how things should be. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Virgos. I'll see you again soon, hopefully. And thank you so much for